But I kind of want to see what Sega did. I like I said, I don't have all the information, so let's get some of the information so we know what the hell is kind of going on, and then we can go from there. Because obviously, there's always two sides. There's multiple sides to a story and things like that. Sometimes it's pretty clear cut and dry because of how people are and everything. Before I start this out, let me do. You were referring to? Okay, cool. Cool. That'll give us some more. Hey, I see VTuber I know down there. That follows Mia.
Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So in this video we'll be looking at yet another successful cancellation campaign launched against someone because of wrongthink. Unfortunately, this is targeting Miyasu, a VTuber we've talked about before. She has been targeted many times for wrongthink by the Sonic community among others. And this time, well, it's Sega canceling a partnership with her because people on Twitter made a loud enough stir.
Oh, so it's looking like atypical cancel culture uh BS that shouldn't be going on, but it's going to happen because people don't like someone because of A, B, or C. Oh, this one's a doozy. Oh no. Oh no. All right, let's see.
Claiming all sorts of ridiculous claims about her. Now, unfortunately, for those same people who felt justified in harassing her in the name of Sega, they are now crashing out over Sega because they just discovered that the company has no problem using generative AI. A very funny situation.
Oh, gee. So people are not the smartest people in the world. They'll cancel you because they don't like your point of view. Then they'll go and try and cancel the company because of Gen AI. And then they'll cancel you again because you use Gen AI. These people.
But what's not funny is Miyasu losing a spot in the Sega Creator Zone, which they celebrated getting just recently. Now, Miyasu is not some drama tuber or anything like that. They just do a lot of Sonic related content. I'll put a link to their channel in the pinned comment. But you can see this is not really their run-of-the-mill stuff. They're not trying to start drama, but the related communities are extremely woke. It's filled with a lot of children who are harassed.
Yeah, and again, companies should not be bending the knee. Listen, if someone's problematic by your standards, that's one thing. But if people are going, oh, this person is problematic, Celestium, because of their religious views, you need to get rid of them, and then you bend the knee, not great. But if you don't bend the knee and you go, no, we're gonna stick to our guns here because we got this person, but we also have this person, so use their code instead. Yeah, you're gonna get hate. You're gonna get the hate mobs, but guess what? You're probably gonna make more money. Just saying. Yeah, bending the knee for people who will never buy your games, who will never support you as a company because they just don't like a person.
Her, but also full-grown adults who are terminally online. You look at their bio and it's like level 36, identifies as a Z-Zoot, whatever they're using these days. But unfortunately, here is the post where Miyasu expresses her disappointment in the situation because she was removed from the Sega Creator Zone due to some problematic behavior, and they don't think she is a good fit anymore, despite the fact that she was a good fit up until now. And the reaction from the psychopaths on Twitter is expected, people telling her that she needs to be offed and that this
Oh, that's why.
happened during Pride Month too, so I guess their ranting and raving and threats are justified. And here's some of the quotes of her post
Never
in
is.
pure ecstasy over this decision. And you can pause and read for yourself. It's a lot of projection, it's a lot of straw manning, but there's viral tweets celebrating her getting removed. And you can see people trying to run a false narrative, saying nobody is harassing her. Now, of course, this.
If she lost her partnership, she makes a post. Damn it, Ashley. She makes a post saying she lost her partnership, and then you all dogpile on her. That's an attack. Like, you can't. Like, in Boston, like a month or two ago. I don't remember that one. Probably because I don't care about Nike that much. So if they go under, I don't care. It gets. I bet it does. I have no doubt it's going to get worse. But yeah, no, like just basically, I'm going based off of this right here. Nobody's harassing her. I just literally saw a whole bunch of posts that were harassing her.
Post in particular has some quotes showing evidence, including people spamming her replies with footage and screenshots of Charlie Kirk's assassination, which I can't show on YouTube. It's very sad that I think a lot of people are just.
That's. You know what? I'm just going to start. When I see that, I'm just going to post on someone's page the video of Renee Good getting shot. How's that sound? Because if you don't want to respect people, then I'm not going to respect you. I'm sorry. That's your equivalent. It's just like, oh my God, these people.
This stuff because people post it so often, but it really shows their true colors. These people are bloodthirsty, they're violent, and when they don't get their way and they encounter people with the wrong.
Leading up to Boston Marathon, playing runners are welcome, walkers tolerated. Yes. No, everyone can. Well, you know, if you got off your lazy ass and actually, I don't know, took the time to jog a mile a day, maybe you could run. Sorry, that's mean, but I don't care.
They feel justified in harassing people and sending them gore. And by the way, what was the big crime that Miyasu has committed? Well, there's a clip of her that we've talked about before where she refuses to basically play into people's identity when they're trans. If they want to identify as a different gender than their birth given gender, she doesn't want to do it. That's it. That's it. And now they have a lifelong crusade.
Again, if Nike goes under, I'm okay with that. They shouldn't have done that, but if they go under, that's fine. I'm cool with that.
Launched against her. It's very sad to see someone who is genuinely a very positive person fall into the wrong think and the harassment campaigns. But let's get an idea of the people participating in this stuff. So you have this individual, Jennifer, who tried tagging the sponsors directly, quoting Sonic, because they need fictional characters to reaffirm their virtue signaling. And when that didn't work, they tried again with another post directly tagging Miyasu. Remember, they're not harassing anyone. They're just directly tagging Miyasu and Sega, trying to get her dropped.
That's literally her. That's a pattern. That's called harassment, people. That's legally harassment.
And also dunking on her when it happens. And that
I think so too,
in a now
Rudy.
deleted post said, I'm going to make this clear. I don't want any Sonic fans who are in the LGBTQ community suffering the pain and attack by those conservative Sonic fans. I too got bullied in school for being gay, and I don't want anyone to go through this. Well, of course, they're basically.
You weren't bullied for being gay. You were bullied for being a Sonic fan. I only say that because I actually like Sonic. I like Sonic a lot. I would consider myself a Sonic fan, but I'm not part of the Sonic fandom. The Sonic fandom is, yeah. Ah, yes, yeah.
Saying if
Whatever
you're
it
in the long
is nowadays,
fandom,
how many more
you're
letters
going
we're
to
gonna
be
add to it?
harassed, you're going to lose sponsorships, and we're going to exclude you from the community. Now, of course, you can also see responses like this saying the amount of people defending her while she didn't even say I'm sorry is effing crazy. She does not deserve a platform at all, and anyone who follows her is delusional. Yes, it's not enough, right? It's never enough. They're not satisfied with her losing this opportunity. They want her to lose all of her platforms. And a lot of this is based on headcanon, just straight up lies about her. Because on Twitter, in situations like this, in the dogpiling, people can say something with zero evidence, and all these sycophants immediately jump on it.
Yeah, that's the. Oh, I've watched that one. The MMIWD2Q whatever. I've watched Holy Ball's video. I love that one. That one was so good. But yeah, no, these that's something that's annoying. These people make up the weirdest fucking stories and make believe and say, "Oh yeah, you did this," and it's like, yet you can't, you don't have proof of it. Sometimes they'll tag something and like misconstrue the wording, or they'll take something that's in the thread and go, "See, this is what they mean by it." That's a post in the thread arguing against you, and then you're using that to try and bolster your argument, even though you're missing the context.
Support it and accept it, but also you're angry at her for not saying I'm sorry. She has nothing to say sorry for. She was the victim of another cancellation campaign by people who cannot argue against points being made. Instead, they want you to lose opportunities, they want to financially ruin you, and they also want to deplatform you. But of course, the hypocrisy rolls into this VTuber right here, quoting Miyasu saying, then take accountability for your actions and quit being a VTuber. Oh, now we're policing whether or not she's allowed to be a VTuber. They continue on saying, you're the one who built your platform off of racism, homophobia, transphobia, and AI art. Interesting point about the AI art at the end there. We'll see more about that in a second. They say, you did that. Everything that happened to you, you brought on yourself. So quit whining and grow up. You're an adult.
And the moment you sit there and you point out their faults and you show where they're wrong, they have zero accountability. I've dealt with Kitten Paws before. I know I have. And Kitten Paws never, from what I can ever remember, Kitten Paws has never taken accountability. Anytime I've seen them post, anytime I've interacted with them, they've never taken accountability for their actions. They refuse to, because it doesn't help them. It it doesn't fit their narrative. Like, the entire point is, if you're going to make an argument, if you're proven wrong, you need to take the accountability of going, oh shit, you know what, I didn't have that information. Thanks for pointing that out, but you're still wrong here. You make the argument, you're wrong, you accept the fact that you were wrong, and then you move on. But if you are wrong on a point, but you're right on other points, you can continue. You can go, yes, no, I already admit this, you're right here. I was wrong there. I admit that, but that's not the main argument. The main argument's over here. You're just pointing out this little small factor of the big argument instead of focusing on. And they do that. They will find like the small thing and then never talk about the main issue ever again. Because they don't have intelligence when it comes down to things. They spew the same stupid talking points over and over and over again. They read from the script and go, oh, I'm supposed to say this, so you are this. Oh, you said this, so I'm supposed to say this, blah. That's what it is. It's almost uniform and stupid. It really is. They can't cancel these nets.
This
Exactly.
is the person wigging out over someone getting an opportunity with Sega and trying to get their sponsors removed, even trying to remove their identity as a VTuber. Now, of course, this is a VTuber lore writer, whatever they are, but you know the hypocrisy exists. Just searching up the usual stuff, you can see this person calling out racism says you can't be racist against white people. Many such cases. Well, let's see another one actually.
I always love that. Yeah, be racist against white people. Yes, you can. The textbook definition of racism is because of a person's skin color. It doesn't matter who it is. If you judge a person based off of their skin color, that's racism. Congratulations. I just disproved your point. That's in textbooks. That is literal definition.
This person says, honey, anyone who starts off a conversation with a stranger calling them honey or something like that, worst vibes ever. But they say, you're not going to be known as the drama. You're going to be known as yet another racist, transphobic grifter who acts the victim when receipts are shown. What receipts? I have literally no idea. Not to mention the AI art that got you kicked from the Sega program. So what is it at this point? Is it the AI art?
Wait for it. Oh no.
Is it all the buzz phrases they're throwing in? They don't even know. But of course, you take a 2-second glance at this VTuber's account, and wouldn't you know? One last thing, here's a video for those who believe it's possible to be racist against white people, or that we are being racist by creating our own spaces to keep ourselves safe. Well, nobody's preventing you from creating your own space and I guess segregating yourself by your own
by all means,
efforts.
segregate yourself.
But this part right here,
like, if you think a certain group of people are so racist that you need to segregate yourself, please, by all means. We've seen what happens. Muscle mommy femboy, I know, crazy. Right?
Yes, you can be racist against a white person. If you are judging someone and harassing them over the color of their skin, you are a racist. And the irony is, too, they have a video with the definition of racism that literally disproves what this person is trying to say. There's absolutely nothing going on. The lights are on, but nobody's home, and the hypocrisy is...
Yeah, you gotta love it. Racism, noun, prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular race or ethnic group, typically one that is a minority or marginalized. That was the added portion. But still, this is the typical manner. But, oh, look. Against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. That's legitimately stating you can be racist against white people. Yeah, typically, not always, typically, but these people use the word literal incorrect all the time. So.
Shining again, but what do you expect? And then we see the headcanon, this person saying, weren't you the one who complained about not being able to say the N-word? Well, I know the context of this, and apparently 600 people do not, but this is something we talked about in the last video about Miyasu, where she was talking in a clip about how friends growing up would say the word, but she didn't feel the need or desire to say so herself. That's apparently her complaining about not saying the N-word. What is this person talking about? They don't even know. Here's some more headcanon. I don't hate you, person who blocked artists when they commissioned or they were commissioning upon learning they were trans. Nor will I block you, person who bans you for saying trans lives matter in chat. So this first part is completely made up, by the way. This never happened. Don't expect any receipts that it happened because they're just making it up, right? They're just completely making it up. And then the whole thing about blocking, apparently Miyasu blocked someone in her chat who was spamming trans lives matter. And this happens all.
AKA, I don't care who you are. You could come in here and spam White Lives Matter or in my chat. I'll ban you. You can spam Asian Lives Matter. I'll ban you. If you're spamming and disrupting streams and people creating content, doing stuff like that, if you're spamming in a rude manner, you're allowed to do that. But you're too fucking retarded to realize that. No, they just want to be the victim. Never mind. They just want to be the victim. It was defined by. Wow. Enjoy eating spam.
People go to the problematic VTubers or someone they're trying to cancel, and they spam stuff like that in their chat, trying to bait a response. Either A, they can just annoy and harass the streamer. It's not about activism. It's about spamming and trying to annoy the person. And also, they try to get you to ban them so they can make posts like this. Now, of course, this person doesn't even show proof that happened, but even if it did, people are allowed to block someone who's detracting from a stream, coming in and just spamming trans rights, not to promote anything, just to annoy people and to detract away from the chat. Yeah, that's something that's going to get you banned in pretty much every single stream.
Yeah, it is.
On top of that, we see the deranged actions of people saying that she needs to be offed, and also saying that they want her offed. And of course, you see people like Madame Savvy tagging Sega and saying, what are you going to do about these people? Why are you promoting also some very weird material, which is also something that's going on in this relevant discourse? And it's like, this is the standard you're creating. This is the cesspool you are attracting. And it seems like they're perfectly okay with it. Now, here's the very funny part. As this was all transpiring, Sega is starting to get a lot of criticism for several of their games, but just generally being completely open to using generative AI. And the same people who like to virtue signal at people like Miyasu, they like to virtue signal about AI. And the crash outs from this are hilarious. All the people.
And here comes the AI crash out because it's a company using Gen AI. And like, being in the AI space and learning how to use it and doing things, and it's taken time and I'm starting to get decent at it, but it's still one of those things of like, if you don't know what you're doing, you can mess something up. And even if you do know what you're doing, AI could just decide not to work correctly.
Who were defending Sega with their lives, harassing Miyasu in Sega's name, are now crashing out at Sega over this not recent development. This is nothing new, but apparently they're not paying attention enough to the medium they're interested in to know any better, but they're discovering now that, their hero company is not so great under their own standards. And it's very funny to watch that unfold. And you can see in the sort of wake of everything that's happened, some people are saying, so we're the bullies for telling Sega to remove a racist transphobe, but the streamer, said the streamer Mia literally said Nintendo were predators for adding non-binary Miis to Tamagotchi life. Well, yeah, you are the bullies for harassing people out of opportunities because you think they're doing something.
Yeah, if you bully someone out of an opportunity, or you bully a company to drop someone, and they worked hard to get that, you're the bad guy. Hi, the call is coming from inside the house, people. Like, yeah, you're the bad guy for being the person who's like, oh, well, I just don't agree with this person, so I'm going to brigade them. That's not how you do it. Sorry, you don't like them? Guess what you do? I don't like them. You gonna watch any of their content? No, fuck them. What if they keep popping up? Then I'll block them so I don't have to see their shit. I don't want to interact with them. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to be around them. Goodbye. That's how you deal with them. Yeah, don't fucking do stupid shit like this. And then you get shit thrown in your face for being retarded. Yeah, that's not what she said. Yeah, no, I don't know all of it, but if that's, I wouldn't be surprised if she said that. I don't think she would have called Nintendo predators in that aspect, because that's towing the line of defamation. So she's smart enough not to do that. But I could see, yeah, because when I saw that, I was like, that's okay, weird. All right, I guess I don't have a Switch too, so not like I'm going to play it.
Like wrong think, and you're just making up labels
You know,
for them to justify your rage and your harassment towards them. Yeah. But here is a statement from Miyasu, who has gone private on Twitter, and probably for the best, just to let these things blow over. But this is her statement. Remember, this is the very hateful, evil individual. This is her message to everyone.
I don't want to be known as the drama, the person that was involved in some kind of drama. Oh, yes, that one VTuber that was involved in this, right? Come on. I do not want to be seen as that. Obviously, is most likely too late.
And it's not her fault, right? She's known as the drama, not because of anything she's really doing, but because of people harassing her and making her into this basically rage pinata they hit every time they're bored on social media, and they want her to suffer in some sort of a way, especially when she has something good going for her. It's very unfortunate, but they're forcing all this stuff upon her. They're forcing the microscope onto her when all she wants to do is stream Sonic and other games. Like, that's her bread and butter. It's not being any sort of a political pundit. It's not being a drama tuber, nothing like that. So it's been forced upon her, unfortunately.
So she just wants to play video games, and you guys are making it out to be an issue when she, again, I hate how people have become so, we have to have our just cause, because we can't let those evil people who don't think like us have free will, because if we let them have free will, then it makes me think, and I don't like thinking, because thinking's wrong, and you have to think the same way we all think. That way no one thinks differently. No, fuck off. Piss off.
Point. But at the end of the day, my point is, I don't want to see people in my space, whether even if you agree, and I catch you harassing other people, cursing at them, saying these violent things, mean things to people that you don't know online, and you're just spending all this time going online as if that's going to solve anything, to random people that you never met in your life, I will be blocking you. The same thing applies the other way around.
So she's basically saying that even if you're on her quote-unquote side, if you're being violent, if you're harassing people, she's going to block you all the same, whether you agree with her or are defending her or not. That's what she's going to do.
That's understandable. That's justified. If she doesn't want people to be violent towards each other, be violent towards. And if you're being violent towards people in her defense, she blocks you, that's your fault, not hers. Granted, it doesn't matter, because they're always going to put it back on the streamer, because it's the streamer's fault, even though they don't understand the individual.
And this is the person who's supposedly so hateful and so terrible that she needs to have these opportunities ripped away from her. She has to have her labels ripped away from her. She can't be a VTuber. She can't be in that space. She can't be in the Sonic space. She can't be in any sort of space because she's so evil. And yet, she will police people defending her if they're crossing the line, which is a very admirable thing to do. But of course, this doesn't quell the outrage. In fact, a lot of the people celebrating what's happening to her are in pure ecstasy at responses like this, because they don't care. They don't care what her actual quality of character is. They just made a caricature out of her, of everything they hate in the world, and they feel justified in treating her however they want because they feel like they're on the right side of history. This whole thing is a
very 1940s Germany. 1930s, 1940s Germany. If you don't think like us, then you're against us. I'm not going to call them that word because honestly, it doesn't even carry the same weight anymore. But you kind of are.
very unfortunate situation, and one that's not too surprising given the spaces she's in.
Yeah, the villain never thinks they're a villain.
History, so to speak.
That is very true.
They feel very emboldened to treat you like absolute garbage and feel like the good guys while they're doing it. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, please consider giving the video a like, consider subscribing, and turning on notifications for daily uploads, as well as multiple streams a week here live on YouTube. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
No, I don't want Kermit's phone right now.
Wellington, Ohio.
Stop.
Hey.
I love Donut, but we're not watching that. Yeah, no, that's... Thanks, Rev, for shining some light, because I didn't really hear... I saw a post about it. I didn't see much about it. And didn't really get to dig into it because of other things, but that's just... This just makes me just, try not to crash out. Because people just don't... They don't know how to leave well enough alone, okay? Seriously, just ignore the person and move on with your fucking life. It's not that hard. I know it is for you people because you people just... You don't understand how to just let it go. You really don't. And it's annoying. It's so fucking annoying. I don't get people. I really don't. And I try not to get into their minds, but it is what it is.